What's going on, Enuff? How you doing?
Freddie, what's going on, girl? How you doing?
I appreciate you taking your time out your busy schedule to interview with little old me.
No problem.
We're working on the Hot Box, so tell my listeners what the Hot Box is about.
The Hot Box is a segment that I have on that'snuff.com, the soul feeds on hot97.com, and a few other blogs like We Trust. It's a piece where I kind of get to interview artists, and they get a chance to perform their current single or current piece of work that they're working. That's the cool part. And then towards the end of the interview, I drop the instrumental, and they can do like a freestyle or anything they want. Anything that comes off the top of their head. I've been doing it for a little while now, but when Ortiz drops, I had him, Molly Sachs, and my man Austin from Heatmakers on there. It also gives me a lane to kind of promote some of the younger acts or different kinds of like music that's out there. Because it's not just hip hop, I do R&B also. And some of the music that maybe I can't necessarily play on the radio because of politics, but I created my own lane.
Now with the Hot Box, you're putting in your A&R skills. So how do you pick out who gets to be on your show?
I think for the most part, if the song sounds good, I'm into it. If the persona sounds good, I'm into it. It could be a combination of a couple of things. I'm a people person, so it needs to be connected to it. And I think also my commercial audience needs to be tapped into just to kind of put his talent out there. That's the whole goal, to determine out of all these diamonds in the rough, which one I'm going to actually get up and shine. If I could present some sort of platform for that with the Hot Box, it makes me happy. I'm sure it makes them happy. And it's just something special, you know, original content.
Briefly give my listeners that don't know some of your greatest accomplishments you've done in the past. Like I know you DJ for Biggie Smalls.
Biggie was my heart. We're coming up on 20 years of the anniversary of Ready to Die. So that's amazing to be able to say I was a part of history, being Biggie's DJ. You know, Biggie only dropped one album that he actually toured with, and it was Ready to Die. Biggie never got a chance to perform his Life After Death album. So all the performances were all based on that first album, you know, that magical debut, Unbelievable, Big Papa, Warning, Who Shot Ya, just to name a few, One More Chance. These songs were like an incredible, interesting soundtrack that just, I don't know, man. Biggie to me is one of the greatest, just his laid-back style. All his lyrics were just like painting pictures with his words. I think what I'm into hip-hop back then was just almost everything. And this was a time when, like, look, Nas' Illmatic dropped a couple of months before. Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt dropped a little bit after. It's just an incredible year for New York hip-hop. And to be on tour with him and not even realizing at the time that we were creating history, it's just amazing to me now. You know, 20 years later, people are still celebrating his life. And even people who not necessarily maybe either knew or heard of Biggie, with interviews like this and interviews that kind of like showcase Biggie's talents, it's kind of wonderful to see, you know, 20 plus years later that Biggie Smalls is still the illest and that he's remembered by so many people.
You have to big yourself up, too, because Enuff, you were one of the staples of branding Hot 97.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, definitely you helped somebody else's career, but shout out to you for helping New York #1 radio station. You're a part of that history as well. You can't talk about hip-hop without talking about Hot 97.
I've been with Hot now about August and maybe 16 years. It's amazing that I'm still doing what I love to this day. I've helped people like 50 Cent, Kanye West, and a slew of others, you know, make it to the top. And I remember these guys when they were nobodies. And it's just amazing to see the success through the station, through social media today. It's just crazy. It's really amazing. It's a true blessing.
Earlier you mentioned one of the reasons that you had the Hot Box is because some songs you can't play on the radio because of politics. We know that you love music, but why don't you like the music business enough?
I think for that, the politics, the business aspect of it, whenever money's put in front of the art, it kind of just waters things down a little bit. I understand the importance of success. I understand the importance of business. I understand all of that. But sometimes me being able to express myself while talking with my hands is almost everything to me. And when those freedoms are taken away because of business and politics, then it just becomes a little bit difficult to do my job. But I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I could be slightly disappointed, and maybe things aren't the same. But sometimes as time changes, we have to learn to adjust. As the media outlets change, we have to adjust. The way people listen to music back in '94 isn't the way people listen to music now. And 2014. And that's cool. So I've seen in my lifetime people listen to music on acetates and vinyl, cassettes, 8-track, digital audio tape, reel-to-reels, MP3 players, to now everything's on Serato or Beats Music, Pandora, there's so many other platforms of music, iHeartRadio app, but all these different forms, whether it's someone's website, people have their own kind of like destiny when it comes to music now, so they can listen to music the way they want to listen to music. So back in my day, growing up as a child, the only outlet we had was the radio. So it's the last terrestrial piece of anything that we have left for people to listen to truly for free. And yeah, there's commercials, and yeah, there's people talking and promoting events and things of that nature, but, you know, it's still like the travel piece. And while they're there listening to the radio, yeah, you can pop in a CD, you can pop in your iPod. There's still a sense of people want to hear what maybe a DJ Enuff has to say in reference to music. I want to feel like I'm someone's buddy to a certain degree. It's like, hey, that's my buddy, that's my boy, you know, that's enough right there. I don't want people to think I'm just talking nonsense to talk nonsense, or I'm just talking shit to talk shit. People are understanding that when you listen to DJ Enuff, it's a good time, it's honest, it's entertaining, and I'm still here, and I'm still fighting as much as I can to give the unheard rapper, the unheard R&B artist, pop singer, reggae artist a shot. If I could do that, that's what makes me happy. Those are the things of business and art that just make my job still fun. Once all of those things are taken away, then I'll have to revisit whether I'll still be doing this or not.
You mentioned that you like the fact that you helped the unheard be heard. Who discovered you when you was trying to be in the music business?
Red Alert is truly my founding father, someone that I love to this day, someone that I trust, someone I believe in because of his kind ways, his tribute to hip-hop, to radio. He taught me rules and regulations that I had to abide by if I wanted to be treated with respect. I guess it came from DJing the nightclubs, and he enjoys my skills, my mixes, my blends. And a lot of DJs today, it's unfortunate, and I'm not going to say all DJs do it, but there's a lot of DJs who just basically today they press buttons. And that's cool because you can press buttons, but I love a DJ who can create a nice blend, a mix. They can cut and scratch on time and not make it sound messy and sloppy, where it sounds seamless to me, where it sounds like it's one big soundtrack, one big song. If you can do that, then you're a great DJ. If you're at a nightclub and you can control the crowd with your microphone or your music, it's another aspect of being a great DJ. These songs that we play are actually soundtracks to people's lives. Not all of it, but there's certain chapters of, you know, this song can make a person feel a certain way. Happy, sad, ratchet, unratchet, you know, whatever. And I feel like we're the gatekeepers, man. Just me being able to do that to this day is a blessing. And I love my job, and I love the fact that I could make a difference in someone's life.
For the people that want to be the next generation VJs or DJs on the radio, how can they use the current technologies to get their foot in the door?
Well, I think with social media is everything today. Even the radio, we've had to learn how to get our digital game up, you know, even just for business. The amount of followers, the amount of likes you get is all important. It plays a very crucial, important part of the game because whatever you're doing, whether it's you interviewing me right now for this piece, whether it's me DJing at 4 o'clock during the rush hour, somebody has to like it. There has to be somebody there who says, I like this guy, I'm pressing this button, I love him. Or someone who says, I'm turning him on. You know, when we control that turn-on factor, we become very important parts of the puzzle. We become very important pieces to the game. So my thing is, if you're a new cat trying to get up, learn your craft, learn to the best of your ability, but ultimately, if you love what you're doing, you're going to be great at it because you just love what you're doing. That's it. I mean, I can't front. If I didn't do this and if I was mopping and sweeping for a living, if that's what made me happy, then that's fine. You can't judge me on me mopping and sweeping, but I bet you once you'll be stepping on the cleanest floors in the world because I love what I do. And I think no matter what you do in life, if you just work hard at it and never give up, and then this is the best part here. Just when you think it's not going to work or just when you think you might want to give up, the sun is shining right on the other side of the mountain. You know, so it's just maybe a few hundred more feet, a few more steps, a few more hours, a few more days, a few more weeks, a few more years, and you'll be right there. And my advice to everybody is just never quit. Never let nobody stop you from doing what you want to do. And if you can do that, then I promise you, you will be successful.
I think this is like a little enough fact. You went to college.
There's a good part and a bad part to this. the great part is I did go to school, and I went to school for communication and broadcasting. They taught me how to speak from a diaphragm. I learned how to use equipment. I had a speech class, all these things that helped me project my voice, project my persona. But the sad part is I never got to graduate. And the reason why I didn't graduate was because I got hired in the field that I went to school for. So I had two choices. I could have stood in school and got my degree, or I could have just went for the job that I was going to school in the first place for. So
right.
I chose to take the job because the one other thing that I know in this business is that the opportunities are very slim. And if you get those opportunities, you must take them because it doesn't guarantee 6 months later that opportunity will still be there. So at that time, when Red Alert asked me to be his apprentice and fill in for him and work over at Kiss FM, I said, yes, let's do it. Why not? I'm working and I don't regret ever making that decision. I think I made the best decision when it comes to that. And I'll tell you why also. I went to Kingsborough and went for an associate's in communications and broadcasting. I went back to my college 6 times already and went back to speak to the students, explain to them my success story. Now, I did that without my degree. So how many people get to talk about their success story without graduating? And from my knowledge, it's not too many people. So, which means my school to this day looks at me as a success story. Because technically, I had only maybe like 1 semester left. And I just chose to take the job. Like I said before, if the opportunity comes up, you must take it because you really don't know if the opportunity will be there for you the next time you think you're ready for it.
And then also, too, took a leap of faith. You got some education, but your true education is the music business. Like, no disrespect to schools. I'm in school right now. But that real-life education is that real education. Unfortunately, the politics behind it, you need a paper to show that you're qualified.
Right. And that's why I said it's like the good part and the bad part, because everybody's situation could be slightly different. So you kind of have to figure out in the field of whatever you're doing, if that paper needs to be shown, then you might have to stay in school. If you're working in the field that takes you to the top, then whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Throughout the years, I could have went back to school and ultimately finished my degree. These are probably small little things that I'm like, yeah, you know what, maybe I could do it, maybe whatever. If I did it, it's a sense of purpose for myself. But so many years has gone by, and the more I wait, the harder it's going to be for me to enroll back into college. I think I did okay. I think I did all right.
You have your own diploma of things, your list of accomplishments, so that's to me more than a degree.
I'm going to tell you some of my biggest accomplishments in life. Being a Red Alert apprentice at Kiss FM, having my own show at Kiss FM in the early 90s, being the first Latino full-time disc jockey at Kiss FM, being the first Latino full-time disc jockey at BET, and I worked alongside AJ and Free at 106 Park. I also hosted for 1 year my own show called 106 Park Prime, where it was like a weekly recap show. I was first Pepsi DJ. And then ultimately that blueprint gave me the foundations to help create the Ciroc Boys for Sean Diddy Combs, that business model. And to this day, in 2014, I'm still making money and moves with the heavy hitters. I have a DJ coalition of about 50 DJs throughout the country and throughout the world. I got 2 in Japan, I got 2 in Thailand, I got 1 in Greece, Belgium, Germany, 2 in the Dominican Republic, and a bunch from here to California. My brotherhood is everything to me. The fact that I could call them and we could, just kick it and just say, hey, what's happening in your town? What's going on tonight? What are you working with? What music are you playing? What's the fashion? What's the food like? What's the girls like? What's the guys like? What's the liquor like? And at the drop of a dime, that information is personable. Yeah, I could Bing it. I could Google it and whatever. But when you hear it from the horse's mouth, from a tastemaker, from an ambassador, a person who's hands-on in it, that's priceless knowledge. And that knowledge is then taken and used in my everyday personal life, personal business, and I enjoy and love my heavy-hitter DJs for that.
One more thing, I don't want to interrupt you. A lot of celebrities are committing suicide. So how do you as a celebrity keep yourself afloat?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I want to share this, but it's cool. I'm not really tripping, but there's times I have, some hard times and, whether it's relationships, girlfriends, fiancés, raising my family, maybe some financial burdens or whatever. It's just real life stuff that people go through every day. We need, outlets. So these outlets I'm talking about are moms, dads, grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts, and I say family first off, because Family's there to hopefully support you in time of need. If you don't have that, what I started recently is I'm seeing a therapist right now. And the therapist, the process is pretty cool. And, you know, a lot of people are afraid to see therapists. They're like, I'm not going to go pay somebody to tell me what to do or whatever. And for the most part, the therapist that I'm seeing isn't telling me what to do. It's more like it's there just to listen and just to kind of like be a soapbox and have an unbiased opinion. Sometimes we might have yes men and women in our corners, you know, and that's not healthy. There's some wicked family members. We might have some wicked family members. People are not there to really help you. That's the unfortunate part, you know. So you have to find out and do a little bit of homework, you know, like who's really my friend. And I'm not saying who's my entourage. There's a difference. Who's my groupie, all these things are different. These are people that love you for either materialistic things or things that you rock and ride to, but who's going to be there for you through thick and thin, times of hardship, if you have a breakup, whether it's at work, a relationship, who can you go to just express that emotion of whether it's loss, pain, gain, wisdom, knowledge, whatever. Who's that person? Once you find that person, then it doesn't have to be one person. It can be multiple people that are around to help you sometimes get through those rough patches. And then other things is sometimes we need times to just be by ourselves. There's important times because when you're by yourself, you think. There's no clutter. There's nothing in the way getting into your emotions. A little bit of quiet time is necessary just for you to go through the thought process, just for you to say, hey, this is where I'm at, you know, this is how I'm thinking. And at the end of the day, your gut knows what it is, and the auras and the karmas that are around can help you navigate through some of that stress, some of that depression. Because sometimes us being in the public eye, whether you're a DJ, an artist, a rapper, a poet, you know, it's an art form. But sometimes we put up these facades or we put up these walls to protect ourselves. It's just natural to sometimes put the walls down. But sometimes we feel vulnerable. I don't know who to trust. I don't know whatever. So the wall goes right back up. But for me, right now, this therapist is everything. Spend about an hour with that person, expressing how I feel, going through my thoughts, going through my emotions. And only if I need an answer, I will go to that person and say, hey, what do you think? I need an unbiased decision on this particular thing right here. Can you help me with this? Then in that sense, it's cool because this person is looking at you from an outsider's point of view. This is not your buddy you went to the club with last night. This is not your buddy you had a relationship with. This is not your buddy who has a personal agenda or whatever. This is somebody who's on the outside just saying, hey, I think you're going through this, and I'm glad you recognize that, and maybe you do need that, or maybe you should stay away from this. And those times, those are the tools that I need to get past some of those things that people are going through, like a Robin Williams or whoever.
I respect you for admitting that you say you go to a therapist because, you know, people of Caribbean cultures or minority cultures, like you said, they have their nose up against a therapist for whatever reason. But mental health is something serious. Like, we take care of our bodies before we take care of our heads.
I have family members that I love dearly who suffer from severe depression. It's a serious thing. And I have family members, my first round of family, like, that suffer from some of this stuff. So it was more of them and seeing them go through their process, the ills and the wills, that made me say, you know what, maybe I should go see a therapist. Because even though I might be able to handle some of it, but like you said, let's use Robert Williams as the perfect example. This guy was smiling all the time, still doing movies, still working, but nobody knew what he was going through on the inside, you know? Maybe he didn't have the right person to talk to. Or maybe his thing was just bigger than seeing a therapist. Some of it's genetic, some of it's just the ill wills we go through in life. The last little piece thing here is we're living in a different world. Today's world is everything. Everything is lived out on some sort of platform. These companies pay big dollars so they can know your habits, your spending habits, when you're happy, when you're sad, so that way they can ultimately make money off you. But we got to learn as a people to live with that. You control your own destiny. Either you're on or you're off. And you can choose to be on, but you could also choose to be off. You don't have to be on Instagram. You don't have to be on Facebook just because it's popular. There's times I'm engaged with it and I enjoy it. And then sometimes I just have to turn it off like a light switch. I can't do this no more. This is crazy. It's up to you. If you feel like you need a break, man, it's okay to say, hold up. Time out. I need a break. I got to press reset. These things are all normal.
Yo, he's speaking real right now.
I sure am. I hope you got enough for me.
No pun intended, right? How people can link up with you.
Everything's at DJ Enuff. At the website, that'senuff.com. And that's pretty much it. It's all there.